Okay guys, I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video. Today I'm going to be unboxing and testing out this portable air conditioning unit for your tent. Now let me just say before we even get started, this is not like a techs and specs review. This is simply a review of this portable air conditioning unit for use in your tent when you're camping. If you want to know all the techs and specs, you're going to have to find a channel that has techs and specs. This channel's about camping, so all we're doing is testing this out, and I'm going to tell you whether it is or is not good for your tent. We're going to be testing this out today in one of the biggest tents I have. This is the Cootie 17.2 inflatable tent from RBM Outdoors. This is a 12 by 16 tent with a 7-foot peak. Right now I have this set up as one big room. You can go back and watch the full review on this channel if you'd like. This can be set up as two different rooms, and you can see it's super dark in there, so I can't show you much. But there are two reasons I chose to do it in this tent. Number one, it is one of the biggest tents that I have, so I'm thinking like if you're going family camping, this is the kind of tent you'd be taking. And number two, it is a black tent. Now honestly, if it's hot out, it is hot out. If you're in the 90s, it's going to be in the 90s in your tent no matter what color it is. But a lot of people ask me, is it hotter inside a black tent? And my honest opinion is no. Like I said, if it's 90 degrees, it's 90 degrees and you're in a tent. So this is the unit we're going to be testing out today. It's by Dreo, D-R-E-O. It's a 12,000 BTU unit. And again, I'm not going to get into techs and specs, so take that for what it is. And I bought this last year, so this specific unit is sold out, but there's a newer one that's basically the same thing. I will put a link to that below in case you want to check it out. This unit is said to cool about 300 square feet. Just for reference, the tent itself is 192 square feet, so I have no reason to believe that this is not going to work to cool down that tent. Now the next thing I want to tell you is that you do have to have a power source for this. That's actually why I'm testing it right here outside my garage, because I have a long extension cord that I'm going to be dragging out here. So just make sure that if you want to be using a portable air conditioning unit in your tent, that you get a camping site that provides electricity. Unfortunately, portable doesn't always mean cordless, so this one does have to be plugged in. Now I want to point out one more thing here on the tent before we get started. On this particular tent, there are ports down at the bottom here. If I open up this Velcro flap, you can see that there are ports that go inside the tent, and those ports are how we are going to vent this air conditioning unit. Now, you don't have to have the ports. You can always put the tube out a window. Not every tent has those ports, but this particular tent here, these are top quality tents, so they come with just basically everything you could possibly need. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this box open. We'll see what it comes with. We'll get it hooked up, and we'll give it a test. So opening the box here, we've got a quick instruction sheet, gives us information about this unit. This says you can connect an app to it if you want to. Hopefully you won't need to though. I mean, you're in a tent, who can't reach over and hit a button? This does come with a window panel if you're going to be using it in a house and venting it out a window. Here's how you attach the hose, stick it out the window. This does have a drainage port here, but it also comes with a little drip pan, so you do not have to have it continuously draining, but it shows you what to do if you want to have it continuously draining. I'm going to assume, and we're going to find out in a minute, that that hose actually comes with it, so if you want to, you could actually run that hose out the port there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Alright, this one says accessory, and there it is. That's our little drainage hose if you want it. There's also mounts in there, batteries for the remote. Here is the remote itself. Power cord, instruction booklet, we have double-sided foam tape, and this is the tube that vents the air conditioner. Under all that is the unit itself. I believe these are the pieces for the window vent if you're going to be using it inside in an actual room. Yeah, because there's the hole that you would put the vent tube out, so we don't need these. Take the plastic off here. That's cool. Magnetic remote holder right there. And look at this. Since we've cut the straps, this box lifts right off for easy access. Okay, one thing I do want to point out that I just noticed in reading these directions a little bit better, the drip pan does not come with this. So I was under the impression that there was a built-in drip pan that you would just remove, kind of like a dehumidifier, and you would take it outside and dump it, bring it back in and put it in the back there. There is no drip pan. Now you can bring a drip pan with you, but it looks like it's going to be a mess, because basically going by this, it looks like the drip pan sits outside of it, and gets dripped into. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to have to use that tube and run it out the port in order for this thing to have somewhere to drip the extra water. So here's a look at the front of the unit. We have handles on each side to move it. There are wheels on the bottom that make it a little easier to move, but it is kind of heavy. We have several different vents on the back. There's a big filter in there. These are able to be removed so that you can change the filter and clean things. We have our power cord, and we have the little port for our drainage tube. Now, honestly, anything past that, I'm going to let you look it up and read for yourself, because I want to stick to the point of this video, and that is, does this work or not? All right, so I've got my little thermostat sitting right here, and you can see right there, 101 degrees right now. So this is no joke, man. I am sweating like crazy. I've been reading through the directions here and instructions, and talking about the water drainage, there apparently is an internal built-in evaporator. So it says that unless the humidity is like horrible, then that shouldn't fill up. So we're just going to go ahead and use it as is right now without hooking up any kind of a drainage tube or anything like that. My God, it is even hotter in the tent here. But here's how I have it set up. I put it on a piece of cardboard there just to hold it stable. We have the vent tube coming out the back, and then out the actual vent here, which I need to open that up. All right, there we go. That is exposed. I have the extension cord running from the garage over here, and the unit is plugged in. I have my remote here. We're going to hit the power button. There it turns on. It is set on cool and at 75 right now. So we are going to turn it. Ooh, yeah. That started blowing already, and man, that feels good already. Let's go ahead and turn that down to 65 just for the heck of it. Wow, that is some nice cool air coming out of there already. And I still have the door wide open. I mean, it's definitely not cooling down the inside yet, but I'm standing right in front of it, and it's some cool air. So let's go ahead and just let that run for a little bit. I'm going to close this front door. Oh, it is hot, man. I got sweat in my eyeballs. We're going to leave it on 65 and just let it do its thing. I've got all these windows closed on each side, so it shouldn't be letting out any air except for what can breathe through the canvas. All right, that door is closed. I can feel the air coming out the vent. It is 1:20 p.m. right now, and there is our campsite sitting directly in the sun. This is one reason I chose this area right here, because the sun is hitting it directly. We got a tree above it, but that thing's not giving any shade. So these are the best circumstances to use to test this air conditioner. And let's look at our thing over here again, our thermostat. Yep, if you can see that, 102 degrees out here right now. That is insane. We will give this about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we'll take that same thermostat, we'll take it inside the tent, and we'll see what the difference is. Okay, moment of truth. It is 1:59 p.m. right now. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This thing says 104 degrees out here right now. All right, we're going to take this with us, and we're going to head into the tent over here. Let me just walk up, and yeah, I can still feel, wow, I can feel hot air pumping out of there. All right, I am really anxious to see what it's like in here. Here we go. Let's unzip the door. I mean, it's definitely cooler in here than it is outside. We definitely have cool air pumping out of there. It is definitely not down to 65 degrees yet. I mean, there's definitely some cool air coming out of there, I'll tell you that. One thing that could be assisting in keeping it so warm in here, though, is that I still have these open, and it's letting the sun just beam right down in. So I'm going to go ahead and close these. So it is very dark in here right now. All right, I turned the fan up higher. That won't go any lower than 65, so we're just going to have to see what it does from here. It is definitely cooler in here than it is outside. I don't know how much cooler yet. I set our little thermostat over there on the floor, and it is 2:04 p.m. right now. We're going to go ahead and give this some more time and see what happens. Cooler in there than it is out here, but I can't say yet that it's cool enough that it feels like there's air conditioning in there. And I can't say that if that was all it did, that it would be worth it. Because I would have to guess that it still is at least 80 to 85 inside the tent right now. Now, the other thing is that there are other steps that you can take to keep that cool air in. You can put the rain fly over top. You can put the plastic windows in. All that stuff will help to keep that cool air in because that canvas is breathable. So it's just the same as in the winter when you're using your wood burning stove. If you want to keep the heat in, you can put the rain fly on and the plastic windows in. But for right now, for test purposes, we're going to do it exactly how it is. We'll come back in about another half an hour here. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes since I closed it up and went back in. And that's really putting out the hot air. Well, again, it is definitely cooler in here even than it was the last time, 45 minutes ago. So, I mean, if you just had this thing running and running and running, it would cool it down. It would keep it cooler than it is outside. But with this breathable canvas here, I think that it lets in a lot of heat and lets out a lot of cool air. Let's go ahead and see what this thing says. Yeah, 92 is what this says right now. And that was sitting in the furthest most area it could be away from that. The AC is way up in the front corner, and this was on the floor way back in the back of the tent. If I touch the ceiling here, I mean, you can definitely feel the heat, just that sun beating down on there. Now, if we put the rain fly on, the rain fly has a reflective surface underneath it. So it's like black on top, and then I believe it's silver underneath. So that would definitely help to keep some of that cool air in here. And like I said before, I mean, standing right in front of it, yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool air blasting out of there, but you really have to be right in front of it. Okay, I put the rain fly on. So now it has that extra level of, I don't know if you want to call it protection, but it's an extra layer that can help to keep that cool air in. And I was wrong, it's not silver underneath, it is black on top and black underneath. A lot of these have a silver layer underneath. Still serves the same purpose, this one's just black. It is 2:57 p.m. right now. We're gonna let this sit for a little while. I'm gonna give it an hour before I come back out and check it this time, because I really don't want to be cutting it short. I mean, you could get to camp, you could set this up, set up the air conditioner and let it run. Maybe it'll take 2-3 hours for it to actually cool down, but I just don't want to be giving it 20 minutes, a half an hour at a time and say, oh no, it doesn't work. So I'll be back out in about an hour here, maybe a little bit longer even. All right, it is 4:30 out here. It is still blazing hot, and I'm gonna go in here and see if that air conditioner has done anything in combination with that rain fly to cool down this tent. Still got hot air coming out of there. Well, I have to say, it is cooler in here than it was. I kind of wish we had on this panel here like a readout of what the temperature in the room actually is, instead of just saying, okay, we have it set at 65, because you never really know if it reaches that. So here's our little temperature gauge here, and this thing still says 89. I have to have a light on in here for you to see me. So 89 on here, 105 degrees outside. That's still a 15-degree difference, but it's not enough of a difference for me to say, okay, yeah, this unit down here is definitely worth the money, especially at like 450 bucks. So this has been in here running for what, about 2.5 hours, and I mean, yeah, it's brought it down by 15 degrees, but man, I don't know. I guess we'll give it some more time and just see what happens. Now, if it were like 89 outside, and then it dropped by 15 or 20 degrees in there, that would take it down into the 70s. That would make it much more tolerable than 89. Because remember, we're starting in over 100 degrees out here. So for it to drop it down to 89, even though that's still blazing hot inside the tent, it still is a drop in temperature. I'm kind of thinking that you'd just be better off to open up all the windows to the mesh and let this cool air just blow through. We do have a really nice wind out here today, and if you were at a campsite like over here where I have my other tent set up that's actually in the shade, or like somewhere over there under those trees, I'm sure that temperature would be much lower. But I wanted to do this video in the most extreme conditions that I could. That's why I put it over here in the direct sunlight, and I knew it was going to be blazing hot today. I just wanted to see if this air conditioner could handle handle it. My advice, don't go camping when it's 100 degrees. But yeah, there's no reason I need to hurry with this, so I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to let it run for a while longer, and we'll come back out in another hour or two and see what's going on. All right, I'm out here for what's going to be the final checkup on the tent here with the air conditioning. 7 p.m. right now. It is 92 degrees out here, so at least the temperature has come down a little over 10 degrees, about 15 degrees so far. Not quite that much, but it was like 106 today, maybe even 107. So we're gonna step in here. It's been a few hours that I've just been letting this air run, and we're gonna hope for the best. Hot air still coming out of there. Let's open it up. It is cooler in here than it was. I don't know where I put, oh, okay, right here. 91. Okay, so it hasn't done much, but it still is cooler in here than it has been all day long. So, I mean, I can't really call this thing a success to an extent, but I mean, if you pulled up to your campsite in the morning, you hooked this thing up, got your whole tent set up, and you let this thing run while you went out and ran around the campground, did whatever you were going to do, your swimming and whatever else you were going to do. Maybe after about 6 hours, this tent would be cool enough. But honestly, I mean, it's still just, it's cool when you're standing right in front of it. But it's not cool enough where I can recommend buying one of these things, especially not for $400 or $500. That's ridiculous. Even testing this thing in the most extreme conditions that I could today, right in the sun, in the black tent, in a heat wave, 106 degrees out there, I mean, you would think it would have cooled it down a little bit more, at least in here. I'm tempted to keep it running, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to end it right here. I think we've seen what it can and can't do. So there goes your cool down. It counts down as it ends. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for right now. We're going to leave it at that. It was, in my opinion, unsuccessful. It definitely did bring the temperature down a little bit, but not enough at all to make it worth buying one. I mean, if you were going to use it just at night when the temperature does drop down, even if it dropped down only to like 80 at night, you'd probably be able to get it down to about 70, maybe even 60 in there. So using it at night might be an option. I mean, if that's all you wanted to do, you just wanted to make sure you could sleep through the cool night. But other than that, I mean, like if you wanted just a cool escape, you wanted your tent to be cool at the campground, and you wanted to at any time just get out of the heat and go back to your tent, doesn't seem like that's going to be happening, at least with this air conditioner. So I cannot recommend this thing, at least not with the results that I got from this test today. And, you know, it's 7 p.m. right now. This thing has been going on since about 2:30. So that's like 4.5, almost 5 hours that air conditioning has been running in there. And it just didn't even make a dent. If you guys want to see me run this test again on a day when it's more like 80, 82, something like that, and see how much it does drop the temperature inside there, then I'll go ahead and do that. Maybe this was an unfair test to put it under such excruciating conditions and expect it to cool a tent in 107 degrees outside. So maybe I'll run that test, you know, when the temperature does drop a little bit. But for now, I would just have to say that you'd be better off just to open up all the mesh windows and let the air flow through there freely. At least you would have fresh air blowing through there, and you could sit in there and feel that wind going through.